What's up, Tailgaters? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tailgate Nate. I'm back with another schedule preview and record prediction. And today we're going to be looking at the 2020 Texas Longhorns. So Texas is a team that everyone's been hyping up for the past couple years. Like, is Texas back? Is Texas back? And as I said in my top 25 video, I think that Texas is going to be back. Yes, I think Texas is going to be really good this year. I think Texas could make a run to the Big 12 title. But Texas has just disappointed the past couple years. Not been a very good team. They've had some great talent, but just haven't gelled together as a team. And I think this year, Texas is going to gel together as a team. So let's go ahead and we're going to see if Texas is going to be Big 12 champion or if Texas is going to disappoint like they have so many times. All right, so here's the schedule for Texas. Of course, there are lots of games that stand out to you, and they are in the Big 12, so everybody plays everybody in the Big 12. Before we do that, you look down there, their 2019 record was 8-5, so not a bad year. They went 7-5 the regular season, and then won their bowl game. So again, not a bad season, a pretty average season, but it was a lot worse than what people thought Texas was going to do. So 2019 record was 8-5. Up there, you're going to see my little key. Home games are going to be in that burnt orange. Away games are going to be in white with the burnt orange background. And then neutral site game, they have one of them. And as always, it's going to be in black. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's dive right in their schedule. I'm going to start at the top, as always, with South Florida. So the Bulls were good a couple years ago. Really were making a run in the American Athletic. And then they've just kind of fallen off. They've had coaching changes. For the past couple years, they just can't find a way to seem to gel. I don't think the Bulls are going to be that great this year, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Longhorns in this one. Should be a nice, easy game for Texas to start off the season. Then they get a road game against LSU, big non-conference game here. As I talked about in the LSU video, I'm leaning towards LSU because A, it's a road game for Texas. And B, I think LSU just has more talent. Texas is returning a lot of talent, but I don't see Texas being able to beat LSU in Tiger Stadium. If they were going to beat LSU, it would have been last year, but Texas was a disappointment last year. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lean towards LSU in this one. Again, I think Texas can make it close, but what pushes it over the edge for me is it being in Tiger Stadium. I don't see a way Texas can win. Then they get to play UTEP. That's a home game. University of Texas El Paso. I don't see them having a problem with this game either. UTEP, not really known for their football program. Not all that great, so I think Texas should easily win this one. Then you have your bye week. And again, same thing with Oklahoma. The only other Big 12 team I've done is this is not a really good place for a bye week. You don't want your bye week to be this early in the season because now you have to play 9 games in a row, and that's hard for any team. It's not even after a road game, so it's not all that great of a spot for a bye week. If you're a Texas fan, you're not happy with where your bye week is, but can't change it. It's what you got to live with. I guess it's good that it's before a road game so you can get ready for a hostile environment. But speaking of which, the road game is against Kansas State. Kansas State was a team that surprised Oklahoma last year, gave them their only regular season loss. But I don't see Kansas State being that great of a team next year. I think they have some playmakers, definitely. Quarterback is pretty good. Again, Kansas State has some playmakers, but I don't see Kansas State being able to compete with the athletes that Texas bring in. I know it's a road game for the Longhorns, but I'm going to go with Texas here in this one. Then the neutral site game against Oklahoma, Red River Rivalry, week 6. This game is very close for me. I'm favoring Oklahoma just because I'm favoring Oklahoma because I think Oklahoma is just going to be better than Texas is, but this game is very close. It really is a 50-50 game for me. It could go either way. I believe it's going to be in Arlington, Texas. That's the neutral site. So Texas does have a little bit more of a home field advantage, but I think Oklahoma is going to be bringing in more athletes than Texas is. I think, again, defense, just as it has every year, is going to come down to the key. Also, which team can get the ball last, because there'll probably be a shootout like it has been the past couple of years. So I am counting on Texas to be competitive in this game. Again, I'm leaning towards Oklahoma. But again, I could go either way. Then they get a home game against West Virginia. Again, after Will Greer left West Virginia, they've kind of been down. They haven't been that great of a team. I think West Virginia has a potential to step it up this year, but I don't like their chances. Again, doesn't help when you have to go on the road to play Texas. So I'm going to give the Longhorns the win here. Then they have an away game against Texas Tech. To me, Texas Tech is not all that great either after you've lost Patrick Mahomes and some guys to seniority in the transfer portal. Texas Tech, I don't believe, is going to be all that great of a team next year. I think they have their playmakers, but I don't see Texas Tech being a top-tier Big 12 team. So I'm going to give Texas the win here in this one. Then you get a home game against Baylor. Baylor, of course, is getting Charlie Brewer back at quarterback, but they're losing Matt Rule at head coach. They're also losing their defensive coordinator, Dave Aranda. So I think Baylor is going to be a little down I think Baylor's going to be down next year. I still think they're going to be a fairly decent team. I did not rank them in top 25. Again, it was close for me. I just thought there were a couple teams that were better than Baylor. They are getting a new head coach, and the new head coach is a very defensive coach. The Baylor's defense should be really good. Again, with the lack of practice, it's going to hurt Baylor. I'm leaning towards Texas in this game again. I don't think Texas should have much of a problem if they live up to the hype. Then home game against Kansas. Jayhawks last year won their first non-conference game in something like 75, 78 games, something like that. They beat Boston College. I think Kansas is still going to be in the bottom half of the Big 12. Les Miles is the head coach, but I think you have to give Les Miles a couple more years until Kansas can get back to a bowl game team. I'm going to give Texas the advantage in this one. I think Kansas has the potential to be a fairly decent team next year. I don't see them pulling anything crazy against Texas, though. Then another home game for TCU, against TCU. TCU is a team that I think is going to improve a lot this year. They were good all couple years ago, and ever since then, TCU hasn't really been the same team. In the playoff conversation the very first year, and ever since then, they've kind of fell off the face of the earth. TCU's defense, usually pretty good. Gary Patterson, still the coach. Defensive style of coach. So TCU's defense could be good. I think TCU is going to take a step up this year. I put them somewhere in the middle of the Big 12 right now. But to me, Texas just has more talent than their counterpart at Texas Christian University. So I'm going to give this one to the Longhorns as well. Then they have to play Iowa State. This is yet another home game. Iowa State's an interesting team to me. Of course, you have Brock Purdy coming back at quarterback. Breece Hall, as I've mentioned before, is a running back that I don't think gets talked about enough. I'm making a bold prediction that Breece Hall is going to be a 1,000-yard rusher this season. I'd really love to see it. I think it's going to be great for the Iowa State program. It's on the road for the Cyclones, though. Again, I'm leaning towards Texas in this one just because Texas is going to be bringing in more talent. I know Texas is losing some weapons like Devin Duvernay, but the big key for Texas is Sam Ehlinger is coming back. I think this game could be very good. I think this game could be better than a lot of people think. I know a lot of people are quick to write off Iowa State as, oh, this is just, going to be another 7-5, 8-4 Iowa State team. I think Iowa State could be fairly good this year. So again, though, I'm going to lean towards Texas in this one. I don't see Iowa State being able to compete with Texas, especially since it's on the road. So I'm going to give this one to the Longhorns. Then your final road game of the season. It's going to be a Friday game. You're going to be facing Oklahoma State. So Oklahoma State is a team that I'm really high on. I think Oklahoma State is going to do really, really good this season. Of course, you got running back Chuba Hubbard coming back, also running back LD Brown coming back. Spencer Sanders is coming back. You have guys on the defense coming back. Oklahoma State, if I remember correctly, was something like 6th overall in returning production, or they were in the top 10, which is absolutely crazy. Oklahoma State's going to be really, really good this year. I could see this game going either way for me. Again, I could see this game going either way. I think I'm going to lean towards the Cowboys in this one, just because of the talent gap at running back. I think everywhere else they're pretty evenly matched. I think Sam Ehlinger is a better quarterback. But when you look at both defenses are going to be pretty good as well. But then when you look at the running backs, it's not even close. Oklahoma State blows Texas out of the water. I'm going to lean towards Oklahoma State, but again, I think this game could go either way. So with everything being said and considered, I have Texas going 9-3, which I think is an improvement overall for what Texas fans have been used to in the past couple seasons. 9-3, I think, is a very safe and respectable record. It'll probably put Texas in a good bowl game. Maybe they can make the Sugar Bowl. But 9-3 is my prediction. And to me, those 3 losses are 1 in the early season to LSU, 2 to Oklahoma, and 3 to Oklahoma State. So 3 losses to me are LSU, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State. Now let's move on to the record range. What this is I take this team's worst case scenario and this team's best case scenario. Worst case scenario I have for the Longhorns is 6-6. If Texas just disappoints like they have for the past couple of years, I could see them going 6-6. To me, in this scenario, the 6 most likely losses are LSU, Oklahoma, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, probably Kansas State, just because it's on the road, and then either TCU or Baylor. Again, worst case scenario for Texas is 6-6. I think this is very out of the picture. I don't think Texas is going to disappoint this year, but I had to include it because you never know. Worst case scenario for Texas, a bowl game, 6-6. Then we look at their best case scenario, and for me, a best case scenario is 11-1. If Texas is able to get into Texas shape again, like we all are used to seeing them from about a decade ago, if Texas gets back into Texas shape, I think they can get past LSU. I know it's on the road. I think they can get past them. Again, Oklahoma's a 50-50 game for me right now. I think they could beat that. And Oklahoma State's a 50-50 game for me right now. I think they could win that. But I think when you look at Texas, I have them losing a game somewhere in the scenario because you have to play LSU on the road. Oklahoma, I know it's in Texas, but it's a neutral site. And then Oklahoma State is on the road. So I have them losing one of those games somewhere, and I think just Texas will end up losing a game somewhere anyway. My prediction, though, is 9-3 again. The 3 games, LSU, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, 2 of them on the road. And to reiterate for the final time, my prediction for the 2020 Texas Longhorns is 9-3. All right, so that's going to do it for my schedule preview and record prediction for the Texas Longhorns. Quick heads up, in about 5 days on Memorial Day, I'm going to be doing a live stream where I predict the Navy, Air Force, and Army schedule. I really encourage you guys to go check that out. It'll probably be at 7:30 Eastern. It'll probably be around 7:30 or 8 Eastern Standard Time. So do the time conversions there. It'll be somewhere around there. It'll be in the evening for the Eastern Coast. Pacific Coast will still be in the evening, but a little earlier. So I really encourage you guys check that out. But anyway, that's going to do it for my schedule preview prediction for the Texas Longhorns. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. Also consider subscribing if you're brand new to the channel or just enjoy my content. And also, if you haven't done so already, please do leave a comment down below. I really love to hear your guys' thoughts. What's your predictions for Texas? Do you think Texas will disappoint this year? Leave your thoughts down below. I read through every single one. It means a lot when I have people give me feedback and comment on my stuff. And until next time, play hard, but tailgate harder. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.